Like, trust me. No, I mean, I haven't been drinking that much. I'm not gonna lie. I've been drinking that much caffeine. I mean, maybe like a soda a day and like a couple teas a day. That's really about it. Not like I'm drinking energy drinks. All right. All right. This tornado has fully lifted, but we have another mesocyclone that's developing on the south storm. There's a legitimate chance we get another tornado that drops just south of Potosi. We just had one near Horton Town, and there's likely another one going to drop here soon, going up towards Potosi, basically in the same exact area. Thank you, your mother, for the super chat. Rotation in Hannibal, Missouri. Let me look. Yeah, there's a little bit of rotation actually up here. That's actually very recent. Got a little bit of rotation here just to the west of Hannibal, coming up on I-172 in western Illinois near Payson, south of Quincy, south of Palmyra. So there's a little bit of rotation here. We'll have to keep an eye on that as it moves northeast. We'll be moving to western Illinois here over the next few minutes. Just south of St. Louis, nothing severe as of right now, but really we're watching for this activity, all this activity really, over the next several minutes. More of a line of thunderstorms moving east, but we have a couple of discrete cells out in front of this. A little bit of rotation also near Salem. That one probably not going to get tornado warned, though. I don't think it's really going to rotate much more beyond this because it's just so messy over here west of Verbenham. The main concern will be these little discrete supercells that have fired off here, and if any more form further to the east, we'll have to watch for that. Thank you, Corsi, for the super chat. Been watching you since 120,000 subscribers. To think you're at 1.1 more million subscribers in less than 2 years since I found you is insane. I mean, literally about a year ago from today, we were at like 120. So, I mean, it's been basically a year. Springfield, Missouri is clear. Thank you, JC, for the super chat. Georgia's fine for tonight. Isolated hail and wind is the only concern today. And same thing with tomorrow. Thank you, Y Guy, for the super chat. Thank you, Max. Keep our anxieties down tonight here in Springfield, Missouri. Love these lives. Glad I can help. We do them all the time, literally. We've been live, I think, for 40 hours in the last 5 days, if I'm not mistaken. We've basically been live. So hey, Christina for the super chat. My family lives in Kansas, Missouri. It's been an eventful couple of days. Yeah, hopefully after tonight it's done. Let's hope. You know, it does suck is that we actually have more storms that are ongoing here, back over in the same areas that were hit by the, you know, we had a wedge tornado last night for a long period of time. I'm gonna see if we can get a photo real quick. Riley, give me Capucci's photo that I can show. But we had a wedge tornado last night go across southern parts of Kansas, and it was on the ground for like 3 hours. It lifted a couple times. So it was basically on the ground for almost a continuous 3 hours. And we have more storms happening there now, and you know they're pretty much in the middle of cleanup efforts and stuff like that. So this is a photo from my weather Matthew Capucci, meteorologist as well, and that was the huge wedge tornado. We were not able to, we didn't have this ready to go on last night's stream. But that's what it looked like last night back over here in southern Kansas. One of the many wedges, by the way. We had like 3 or 4 different ones. So this was again a huge tornado that was on the ground for well over again like an hour or two. So it was at least on the ground for an hour, and it was on the ground 2 separate times. New severe thunderstorm warning for Quincy and Hannibal. That's back up here along the Missouri and Illinois border. Area of rotation is currently coming up on I-172 towards Payson, southwest of Camp Point. So seek shelter if you're in this warning for wind, and there's still a potential for a tornado as this moves northeast. Thank you, Landon Anizols Madison for the super chats. You can look at tornado damage and ratings and stuff on the damage assessment toolkit. You can look it up on Google. Thank you, Madison, also for the super chat. Late, but I was really sweet when you told the viewer in Joplin that they could go to sleep safely. Yeah, I mean, that's just the facts. I don't know what to tell you. Well, you might tell me that, do you want me to say, like, oh, we got a big round of storms coming up in like 6 years? You know, I mean, there's nothing really coming. We got a couple storms that have actually fired on our dry line, but like, these are probably not going to do much. This environment's already been used up so much. The odds of this really being anything more than isolated hail and wind is very low. And the HRRR doesn't have it on the models at all. It's more about meso analysis right now, and I don't think there's really much here with these storms that are just firing off in northeast Oklahoma. All right, tornado warning's now officially been lifted. For the first time in, I think, 7 hours, we have no, or maybe not 7 hours, but at least the first time in like 5.5 hours, we don't have any tornado warnings. That's wild. Thank you, Modern, for the sewer chat. How bad do you think Farmington in Missouri is going to be is at the moment? Let me look where Farmington is. Farmington's chilling probably for at least a couple hours. It's going to be a little bit of a waiting game until this line of storms comes, or if we did a discrete supercell in southeastern Missouri, which right now the odds of that are still on the low side of things. We have multiple areas of rotation still in this line of thunderstorms, and we could get a spin-up tornado at any time with this line as it moves towards Mountain View, and they may happen in between radar scans, so just something to keep in mind here. All moving towards Mountain View, Winona, West Plains, Sherrill. You guys are all in the path currently of a QLCS tornado threat that is currently moving to the east. Thank you, Caleb, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Hey, Sandy, also for the sewer chat. What is it like for the Queen, Arkansas tonight, just north of Texarkana? Mostly wind. I think the tornado risk in general is going to be pretty low. Mostly wind. All right, I'm going to draw a line for everybody. There's a lot of people asking questions. Are we clear? I'm going to draw a line. Maybe even a circle, if you will. And the line's going to represent where we are clear of severe, not like clear of severe weather, but clear of at least tornadoes right now. All right. Try to draw a line here. Maybe like right about here. I don't know why. Ignore whatever I just did there. It's gonna be anywhere basically off to the west and north of this line. All right, you guys are basically done. This is more of just wind and hail, by the way. I'm just drawing it just for reference. So, it's a smirkle. Little smirkle. We just got a damage report back over in Brushy Knob, Missouri, from law enforcement. There's a tree down on C Highway just north of Skyline. The time is based via radar. We do still have rotation southwest of St. Louis on the storm, just west of Farmington, going towards Potosi. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as that continues to move northeast. It's not tornado warned as of right now, but we had a similar look to our storm just a few minutes ago that was rotating. So could get a tornado warning on this at some point here soon.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Well, you know, the timing is just like that sometimes. We now have a new tornado warning for Potosi, west of DeSoto. So if you're in this warning, seek shelter, get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. Rotation on the latest scan is even tighter, by the way, so it has gotten stronger. Hey, Vicky, for becoming a member. Now, this happened with our tornado emergency last night, too.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
For the record. Well, all of a sudden, we're back up to 2 tornado warnings. We got one here in Missouri. Got another one near Hannibal and Payson. That's going to be for Adams and Pike counties in Illinois and Marion counties in Missouri. So this is going to be near Hannibal, Payson, Burton, and Richfield, just south of Quincy. So a pretty populated area here. Again, if you're in this warning, seek shelter, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Long term, this is going up towards Camp Point as well as Clayton. There definitely could be a tornado at any time. It's very hard to tell what this is actually doing on our radar here because we are in a bit of a radar hole. But I do think there's definitely this is definitely rotating. There's no doubt about that. Just hard to tell to what extent with this radar hole here in northeastern Missouri, just south and east of Quincy. Hey, Create for the $20 super chat. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. It's back over to the southwest of St. Louis. Latest radar scan still showing a strong area of rotation near Potosi. Unfortunately, Potosi is a more populated area compared to the last tornado that we had. So this tornado, if we have one, it'll be coming up on Highway 8 near Potosi, which again is much more populated here just southwest of St. Louis. So seek shelter if you are in this warning. And we may have a tornado at any moment. This thing is clearing out very quickly. We got an inflow and a hook. Not really much convection right now out in front of this storm or even behind or out to the west. There's still convection a little bit out in front of it, but it has a pretty clear opening here where there is a clean inflow. So there's a pretty high chance, I'd say, that we're going to get a tornado in the next few minutes. Thank you, Tara, for the super chat. Memphis, Tennessee tonight. I think it'll be mostly isolated wind late tonight.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Just like that, we're up to 3 tornado warnings. New ones for Crawford County, Missouri. I have no clue where Crawford County is. Thank you, Sarah, for the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you guys for the support. Okay, where's the tornado warning? Oh, there it is. All right. This is going to be for Cuba near I-44. So Cuba I-44 is in this tornado warning. There's actually, I think, a camera in this tornado warning. We're going to put it bottom middle of your screen or bottom left. Bottom middle. That's a live shower now inside of our tornado warning near Cuba on I-44 near Bourbon. So if you're in this warning, seek shelter. Area of rotation, again, right over Cuba. It's not really that strong yet, not really that tight, but it is coming together a little bit here. Scan over scan coming up on I-44 over the next few minutes. And again, if we have a tornado, it'll be hitting Cuba here momentarily. And I think we're very close to having a tornado on the ground near Potosi. So if you're in Potosi, seek shelter. And we have 3 tornado warnings, 1 up near Quincy and Hannibal, right along the Missouri and Illinois border, and then 2 just to the southwest of St. Louis. All right, Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, so there are a couple of widespread tornado warnings right now, and I want to talk about how much longer we can expect that tornado warning risk to continue. So if we look at mesoscale analysis right now, this is the significant tornado parameter, and we can see that we do have a widespread region of a good amount of significant tornado parameter ahead of our line. We can see on the HRRR that we are going to continue to see storms sort of make their way north into this area. I don't think it's really the line that's going to have the majority of the tornado threat, more so than it is these sort of messy pop-up mini supercells that we're going to see. And that's kind of what we're seeing now with our 3 tornado warnings that we have. The SPC does have a watch out for this area, and I don't think we mentioned the probs, but it is a relatively high probability watch. Oop. We do have a 70-40 watch. So the one that we saw down to the south was a 70 or 80-60 watch. So this one's slightly lower, but it's still quite significant.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. All right, back to live radar. Again, we have strong rotation right now coming up on Potosi in Missouri. So strong area of rotation near Potosi, and potential for a strong tornado with this. If it does drop, it is discrete. Moving off to the north-northeast. The one near Cuba is not nearly as concerning, but we're keeping a close eye on it. It's a broad, weak area of rotation right now. And the one up near Hannibal and just south of Quincy is also on the stronger side of things, but it is also probably contaminated, with this being just so far off to the north of our radar site. We don't have really a great view of it, but if you are in this warning, seek shelter, as we don't have great radar coverage of this, and it could be on the ground at legitimately any time. It is a discrete cell here right along the right along the Missouri and Illinois border. I was about to say Mississippi. We're nowhere near Mississippi. I don't think we're far from a tornado now near Potosi. We'll have to keep a very close eye on this. Thank you also, Laura, for the $20 Venmo. Really appreciate that. And also thank you, Brittany, for the Venmo. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Brayden, for the super chat. Is it safe in Iowa for the night? Yeah, Iowa's not gonna probably see much. I'm gonna be honest, like I said this like at the top of the stream. I think I've said this multiple times. I didn't really think I was gonna see much. The only thing I'd be keeping an eye on is this right here. It's spinning a little bit. We got like a little bit of like almost like a little meso spin, kind of just in a broad area here. We could get some isolated damaging winds, maybe a low tornado risk south of Des Moines, but like I'm not super duper concerned about this. I would say the chances are pretty low of severe weather. Thank you, Caleb, for the super chat. Does Riley have a cat? He does. Thank you, Big, for the super chat. Funnel cloud visible from my house in Potosi. Cannot confirm a touchdown. Thank you for the report. Stay safe in Potosi. I mean, this tornado, if we have a tornado, it'll be going right towards Potosi. If not, it would at least be just staying barely to the west. It's going to be a close call. I mean, again, tornadoes can turn right. They can turn left. We've seen it happen time and time again. We don't have a debris signature yet, which is good news. I mean, that I highly doubt is a debris signature. It's nothing clear as of right now. But the velocities are still very strong. This has a very similar look to our last tornado that we just had like 20-30 minutes ago on the same storm. So I am concerned that this could drop another tornado here near Potosi in the next few minutes. By the way, in case you guys have not already heard, our London tornado that happened in Kentucky has at least been rated a low-end EF4. At least they've found damage in the low EF4 spectrum. And it's still taking some time to survey it since it was such a long tornado, so they're still surveying everything and just... Again, there's nothing officially out yet, but... By the way, this is a few minutes ago, or not a few minutes ago, but it was like 45 minutes ago, back over in St. Louis. This is a video of the high winds going through St. Louis a little while ago, in addition, golf ball-sized hail, and the shame of cars being parked under an overpass. I think we're awfully close to having a tornado on the ground near Potosi. Awfully close. Good shout to Dustin for from Dustin. Dustin says, "Looks like my cat loves to watch you." W. We're always watching the traffic cam. All right, latest radar scan. Still no debris signature. The velocities are still very strong, though. I mean, this is awfully close to producing a tornado right now near Highway 8, just on the west side of Potosi near Bates Creek Camp, just east of Shirley. Thank you, BJ, for the $20 super chat. Please use this to get some treats for Cheese Curd and Riley's kitty. Appreciate that. Thank you also, your mother, again, for a super chat. Your mother. About St. Paul, Missouri. I don't know where St. Paul is, but I'm just going to give you like a general rundown of Missouri right now. Our greatest threat of severe weather is mostly to the east of this line now. We still have one line of storms that's kind of weakening right now east of St. Joseph, so damaging winds the main concern out of that. This is the corridor where I think strong tornadoes are still in play, especially if we get anything discrete like we have right now. Generally speaking, though, anywhere off to the north, the chances are lower of strong tornadoes. It's mostly wind and hail, isolated tornado threat. Same thing back off to the west, especially with this line of storms. It's back out here near West Plains. This will be predominantly a QLCS tornado threat in addition to high winds. And for the record, we are definitely starting to see some rotation in this line. We definitely could start to get some tornado warnings on this line of thunderstorms, but we'll have to wait and see. But there is definitely rotation on this line of thunderstorms tracking towards Mountain View. I'm asking for permission on those. Hey, Brando, for the super chat. I think DeSoto will be hit by the Potosi storm, hoping it will go west. DeSoto's not really in the track of this. If we, for some reason, get another storm, this has happened already once. If we get another cell that forms right off to the east of it, like it's trying to right now west of Farmington, there is a chance that we get another sort of tornadic supercell just off to the east. So it's possible that that happens, but otherwise, I would say right now the chances are low, at least for now. But we'll see how this evolves here just to the east of Potosi. Hey, Mashia for the sewer chat. The rain here in Des Moines has caused a lot of flash flooding. We've had manholes lifted on some streets. Why do you think they didn't put out a flash flood warning out? That is a good question. Might not be enough rain. I mean, there's probably a lot of rain, but it might not be in enough of a period of time. Like, it might not be heavy enough for them to issue it. And if it's local, it might be localized too. I'm not entirely sure what the situation is up there, but if it's localized and it's only been like an inch or two of rain, they won't usually issue flash flood warnings for that. There might be a flood watch. There might be like a flood advisory or something, but that's just my guess. These are some photos from Arobe on Twitter. This is back out of Greenland and as well as Lincoln in Arkansas. So these are some of the first damage photos that we are seeing from our tornado that hit earlier today, back over in northwest Arkansas. Definitely significant damage here. Look at the garage, too. Roof was basically partially taken off there. All sorts of stuff in the road here. A bunch of sheet metal. We got branches all over the place, which is pretty typical with a tornado. A lot of damage. All right, Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, I want to briefly talk about our flash flooding risk. So we've already seen a large area of flash flood warnings issued back behind our line, but this line is starting to take more of a northeast motion. This is going to lead to a lot of training precipitation that goes over the same areas. We've actually seen an increase to the area that's under moderate risk for excessive rainfall today. So we have this large moderate risk in Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri. And our most recent addition is this one up here near Kansas City. So earlier near Kansas City, we saw storms stall and already dump a bunch of precipitation, and we're still seeing storms occur in that area. So this is the HRRR, and we're just looking at the more or how much more precipitation we could get from our event today. I'm just going to drag the slider all the way out to the end. So this is 18 hours from now, and we can see that we have a peak of 7 inches of precipitation that could fall here in the northeast corner of Arkansas. We have widespread values around 3 as well, even up to areas in Minnesota, basically anywhere along our system here, all the way up to our parent low pressure that's up in Canada could see flash flooding from this. Biggest flash flooding risk is going to be south of the Iowa border just because the rain's going to be falling. Up here in the north, it's going to be more stratiform long-term flooding. So may see more stuff like river flooding and slow rain there, but the biggest flash flood risk is down here in the south.
All right, thank you for the update. The rotation over Potosi has gotten broader over the last few minutes, so that does not look nearly as concerning. I'm trying to finish my Popeyes fries. How do I share pictures? You can add us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. You can also message me on Facebook as well. The links to Facebook and Twitter are all down below. Thank you, D, for the $20 super chat. More details about Wentzville, Missouri. You guys are probably going to be mostly wind tonight. And even then, I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of, like, I think generally speaking, like, our discrete supercells are lifting north. A lot of our convection in general is lifting north, and our line of storms is also kind of lifting more to the north. So this clearing area will allow for more discrete supercells. There could be one that sneaks up there near Wentzville, but I think mainly an isolated damaging wind threat is the main concern. Yeah, overall, like St. Louis area, wind and hail are the main concern. There's still a chance for a tornado if one of these storms is able to stay discrete, like the one we have currently. Which right now the rotation's got a little bit broader on the west side of Potosi. It's not as strong as before, but it is still rotating, and it could still produce a tornado threat as it continues to move towards the west side here. It's right now West Potosi, going towards Fletcher, and then it'll eventually go towards Highway 30, just to the west of DeSoto. By the way, this is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think today's event would have as many people watching as as of yesterday. I thought yesterday would be even crazier, but today, this is our 7th stream of all time, severe weather coverage wise, that has ever hit 1 million views. And again, they've only happened this year, so I do want to thank everybody for sharing the stream, getting the word out there, and hopefully been able to help you guys out today. There's been a lot of crazy tornadoes. Obviously, it's still far from done, but we've obviously had a bunch of large tornadoes today. Most of them were in mostly rural areas. Luckily, I know we had on Friday a deadly tornado outbreak that was also in like St. Louis. We had multiple other tornadoes in highly populated areas. So luckily today there were slightly more rural than Friday, but even then we still had multiple tornadoes. Yesterday was even crazier when it came to all the tornadoes that we had. But we really appreciate everybody getting the word out there, trusting me to provide you guys with weather information. Same thing with Riley as well. We've been working really hard to improve everything on the live streams as well, and it's a very, very time consuming too, doing everything on the behind the scenes side. So continuing to improve our live streams little by little, and hopefully later this summer we can even make more big and drastic improvements. We have a lot of things that we're planning on this summer, so including a brand new weather studio. Thank you, Riley. What the fuck? I don't know what I'm saying. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, we have an update out of Nebraska from yesterday. This is actually thunderstorm wind damage. Actually, this is 2 days ago, the 17th in Nebraska. So this is from Hitchcock County. We had some straight line damaging winds. It was about a 2 mile path, and we had winds of up to 112 miles per hour. So this was associated with the RFD of one of our tornado producing storms. A garage and another outbuilding were destroyed.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. Thank you, Lori, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Thank you, Nancy, for the super chat. Wichita, Kansas, look for the rest of the night. Wichita, Kansas, you guys are pretty much chilling. There's a couple of strong storms. That's really about it. Christian for the super chat. Thoughts on Morrilton Conway area? What's there we're talking about, Christian? We're talking about Missouri. Guys, I'm smirking because of something else. Nothing that you guys need to know about. Just nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's before Riley came on. Thank you, Lobster, for the super chat. Thank you, for Marion, Illinois. I literally just had a spaz of words come right before Riley came on. Marion, Illinois, mainly going to be a wind threat after midnight. There's a chance of an isolated discrete supercell before hand, though. Again, between now and about 12 or 1. But line of storms will probably arrive around 1 o'clock or so. This is the HRRR model for the next several hours. This is the most recent run that has just come through. So it does show a couple of discrete supercells being possible or semi-discrete through about 1 a.m. or so. And then eventually by 2 to 3 in the morning, this line continues to push east, producing mainly a wind threat just southeast of St. Louis. And then by 4 to 5 in the morning, that line will continue to push into the Ohio Valley and Tennessee Valley. And honestly, tomorrow looks like it could easily at least produce a few tornadoes and large hail and damaging winds. This line of storms will probably weaken and clear out fast enough, and that should allow for the potential for maybe a small-scale tornado outbreak tomorrow. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. What does Festus, Missouri look like? Right now, you guys are fine. The biggest concern will be wind. If we get a discrete supercell to fire up over here, which we're keeping an eye on, nothing organized yet, but if something fires, there could be a potential for an isolated tornado. Also, shout out to Jim with a very generous PayPal donation. I really appreciate that. And also Patricia. Thank you, Max and Laura, for the Venmo donations. And thank you, Eclipse, for the $20 super chat. What's the word on Van Buren, Missouri? Van Buren, Missouri. Mostly wind. I don't think we're going to have any discrete supercells fire up there or even semi-discrete. More of a line of storms for you guys. Mainly a wind threat around 60 to 70 miles per hour. There is a threat of a tornado still. And I mean, again, there's still several areas of rotation. We cannot confirm any of these on radar that if any tornadoes have really dropped, because a lot of these that do drop in a lot of thunderstorms like this are very quick. And we're also too far away from the radar site to really verify that. So thank you, Quick, for the super chat. What do you think Hot Springs, Arkansas is going to get? Probably 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. There's a low tornado risk, but these storms have been, for the most part, outflow driven. So as long as they're outflow driven, there's a very low chance of a tornado here. They also Victoria for the super chat, or Karen as well, Victoria for the super chat. Appreciate that. Yeah, we got a huge line of storms though rolling right across Arkansas. We actually might have a camera of something here. Let me look. We still have 2 tornado warnings in effect, one of which is southwest of St. Louis. Again, the rotation's been broader near Potosi. That's going on again toward the north at about 25, 30 miles per hour. Rotation also further back off to the north near Payson, Illinois, just southeast of Quincy. There is still rotation here. It's not as strong as it was before, but we are watching mainly for a wind and hail threat out of this. Low tornado risk as this continues to push to the east. We'll be going in the direction of Camp Point here over the next several minutes. There's a camera in Arkansas. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Might have a wind view of something. Hey, Trevor for the super chat. When will these storms reach Cape Girardeau? Probably around, I'll give it around midnight 1 in the morning for arrival. By the way, guys, I'm just going to let you guys know we're probably going to have a video tomorrow morning. I've had a video every single day. We're probably going to have another one tomorrow. So I don't know what. I mean, literally, it's just going to be for those that are asking about tomorrow, we're going to have a video probably at 6 a.m. tomorrow going over everything that you need to know about the threat of severe weather. I have no clue to what extent. No clue. I legitimately don't know what we're going to do for that, but we'll talk about at least tomorrow's threat in detail, and then we'll talk about other stuff that's happening too. Beyond tomorrow. Where'd the camera just go? Oh, here it is. This is what it looks like right now in Russellville, Arkansas. This is a live shot looking westbound. This is right on the edge of the line of thunderstorms. The wind's been picking up over the last few minutes. You can actually see the wind there on the bottom of your screen picking up. It's on the iDrive Arkansas traffic cam. Local pages are saying there was a confirmed tornado touchdown in Potosi. There may have been a brief one. There was a much larger one southwest of Potosi earlier. Thank you, Kyle, for the super chat. Yeah, I think it'll be probably fine. Just be weather aware. Have a way to receive warnings, that sort of stuff. I think it'll be all right over there. Definitely pretty windy. The wind should pick up here in a second. It's actually starting to pick up right now. Here comes the wind. It's around 60 miles per hour right now along the highway. Thank you, Mike, for the $10 super chat. There isn't anything tropical, I don't think, right now. Like, at all. Thank you, Delmar, for the super chat. My family loves watching y'all. Wondering what Sulphur Springs, Texas looks like for tonight. I don't think there'll be anything in Sulphur Springs tonight. Should be pretty chill. Thank you, Teddy, for the super chat. Just a friendly note. I know it's from a bit ago. The suburbs outside of St. Louis de Peers is De Pere. Oh, it's De Pere. I appreciate that. I'll hopefully remember for next time. Honestly, like that's actually it's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't pronounce like any places right. We get about if I had to guess, I probably have a D in pronunciations across the board right now. Probably a D. It's probably what we're sitting at right now. It is windy though. Again, here in Arkansas. This is Russellville again in Arkansas. Pretty high winds on the iDrive Arkansas traffic cam. Right around 60 miles per hour or so. Definitely not much higher than 60. So this line right now is going to be pushing along I-40 towards Conway and Little Rock over the next half hour to an hour. Still a chance of a tornado with this line as it moves east, but it's mostly wind for right now. It's a large line. Why is this chat so fast? I can't read. Thank you, Fidget, for the super chat. While all that convection balances out, are there other areas to still be weather aware in? I mean, generally speaking, like anywhere we could still see damaging winds and a couple more tornadoes. I think the highest risk right now for tornadoes is in this general vicinity. Mainly in northeast Arkansas. I'm going to draw the circle again, but mainly northeast Arkansas, around St. Louis, southwestern Illinois, and southeast Missouri. But this isn't the only area that can see tornadoes. It's just generally where the highest tornado threat is. East of Springfield, we still have a line of thunderstorms moving through Mountain View, which this just got a new warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and a tornado possible label. So this threat of severe weather is going to continue here. Moving the direction of Ellington, Piedmont, and as well as Verbenham. Also, Doniphan's in the track of that. Thank you, Mike, for the super chat. It's been an interesting early season in the St. Louis area. As we're speaking about St. Louis, we have another severe thunderstorm warning. Not in St. Louis, but just north of St. Louis. That's for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Got a few more storms firing up around this area, too. Couple little up, like we got multiple updrafts going up right now around St. Louis. It's very high, a lot of convection starting to pop up, a lot of moisture. So we're probably going to continue to see more storms in this area. And if we continue to see a lot more storm coverage like this, the tornado threat would be lower. But keep in mind, the storm over here is still north of Potosi, still has a little bit of rotation. It's not as much as before, but a little bit of rotation here, moving up into the direction of DeSoto and Festus. Just west of 67. The one up near Quincy and Hannibal probably going to be canceled. The velocities on this have really weakened over the last several minutes. Not seeing really much rotation anymore. It's near Payson, going towards Burton and Camp Point. They'll probably cancel this tornado warning, and then our only tornado warning after that would be this one. Unless they issue one on the one near Verbenham, which has a little bit of rotation. But again, any discrete cells that fire up out in front of the line here will have a better shot at producing tornadoes. Just had a report over in Sabaco, Arkansas. According to emergency management, 60-mile-per-hour winds were reported in that area by county emergency management. So this line is still producing around 60-mile-per-hour winds as it approaches Little Rock here in the next hour, Conway, and as well as Hot Springs Village. Nice new haircut. Thank you. I got this haircut like 2 weeks ago, I think now. I do appreciate it. Actually, literally 2 weeks ago today, I think I got this haircut. Or maybe 2 weeks ago from yesterday. It's actually, it's growing in. It's not doing too shabby. That was the goal with it. Hey, Devon for the super chat. How's it looking for Coral City, Illinois for the night? About to go to bed? I think the main concern across all of Illinois is isolated damaging winds and hail. Not including Chicago, by the way. It's a low tornado risk that's mainly going to be in southwestern Illinois. They have just updated the tornado warning for Washington County, Missouri. It is still radar indicated. Smaller area. If you're in Potosi, you can get out of your safe place. If you are near Fletcher, just outside of Fletcher, near Richwood's Hurricane, which I don't think we're seeing a hurricane here, but if you're in Hurricane, Cruz Mill or Rabbittville, continue to stay in your safe place. As this continues to move off to the north-northeast. It's moving north-northeast at 30 miles per hour as of right now. Have you seen the damage in St. Louis? Are you talking about from the tornado the other day? We can pull it up. Actually, I think it got removed from the DAT. Nope, it's here. Actually, they updated this. This is the tornado that hit St. Louis the other day. They actually expanded this. So this hit St. Louis in the downtown area a few days ago on, I think it was Friday. And they actually expanded this. Originally, they didn't have it crossing the river, and it did. And I thought it did on radar, too. So they actually have expanded the EF3 track here, so it goes all the way up towards Glen Carbon, Illinois. So they have expanded the track. And again, we have a lot of damage like across this entire area. And this is one of the photos. Look at that. Entire structure collapse there. That was a 1 or 2 story residence. Yeah, I mean, just multiple buildings were destroyed in this area, or at least heavily damaged. See if we can get one in Greaterville here. Yeah, I mean, it's literally, I mean, a lot of these photos are looking, they're not looking at the same thing, they're just looking at similar building structures here. Let's check out this random DAT up, or that little damage up there. And that's also EF3 damage. That's actually a pretty good view there of a building just half destroyed, roof completely ripped off. It's crazy how much damage this building took, and this damage doesn't even look like it was touched. It's actually crazy. Hey, Melissa, for becoming a member. Any other EF3 damage indicators that I just didn't see here? I think that's really it. There are a few more damage I mean, there's a bunch of damage photos on here. Like, there's like dozens. I'm not going to go through all of them, but those are some of the main ones that I'm seeing on here. This is Greaterville one. I'm going to do one more. If it loads. Wow. Yeah, that's significant damage. This is all from the, again, tornado that happened in St. Louis just a few days ago. Hey, Tyler, for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you also, Mike, for becoming a Maximum Velocity member. Thank you, Brian, for the super chat. Hey, Dion, also for becoming a member. Dude, why is everybody spamming Worcestershire sauce in the chat? Worcestershire sauce? I'm very sure that's how you say it. Might be one thing I know how to pronounce. How do you say Worcestershire sauce?
It's typically pronounced Worcestershire, or sometimes just Worcester. The
Crap.
Shire part is often shortened, so you can say Worcester sauce, and you'll be good.
Alrighty.
Glad to help. If you need any...
No, go off. Bye-bye. Thank you, Logan, for the super chat as well. We've already gone over Missouri like a bunch of times, guys. I mean, I've gone over it like multiple times for the general area and everything. I'm not going to do every single town location. It's repetitive. Latest radar scan on our tornado warning here near Fletcher. Still have some strong rotation. This actually has intensified over the last few scans, at least on the latest scan. It's much stronger. Could get a tornado over the next few minutes near Cruz Mill, going up towards near Rabbittville, going up towards Fletcher, just southeast of Hurricane and Richwoods. Eventually going towards Grubville, Cedar Hill Lakes, and just east of St. Clair. So this supercell isn't quite done yet. It's actually organizing again. Got inflow coming in from the south. This will eventually go towards Eureka in the long term. It's pretty slow, so it's going to take some time to get to the western St. Louis suburbs, but it's definitely still rotating. Thank you, handful letters for the super chat. It is not my birthday. Have another radar scan in a second. Northern tornado warning will probably be allowed to expire here in a few minutes. It expires in 4 minutes. The southern one, it goes for another 4 minutes as well. They'll probably issue a new tornado warning in a moment here in Missouri, just west of DeSoto. If I had to guess, this will probably be our approximate tornado warning polygon. Be something like this. Maybe a little bit further to the left.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We have a tornado warning in Arkansas. Tornado warning for Arkansas. That's going to be for Stone, Van Buren, Searcy, Cleburne, and Pope counties. It's probably this right here. Going towards Clinton. Yeah, it is. All right, so going towards Clinton and Fairfield Bay. If you're in this tornado warning, seek shelter, get away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. Once again, that is near Clinton and Fairfield Bay here in Arkansas. Just south of Leslie, and again, off to the north of Little Rock. Thank you, Bell, for the super chat. Thank you for the great coverage tonight, Max. I'm loving the new shame game in the chat. Apparently, we're going to do shame t-shirts at some point or something. I don't know. Be kind of funny. We have a cool concept for it. Wow. NATO cast tomorrow. Man, it's not that crazy, but NATO cast has multiple areas where we could see strong tornadoes, pretty similar to the outlook the SPC has, just has a 15% up here. Even has a little one in Kentucky. So, guys, can we stop saying happy birthday to me? I'm going to ban the word happy and birthday in my chat. It's not my birthday. Hey, Jared, for the super chat.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
All right. New tornado warning now for Washington, Franklin, and Jefferson counties in Missouri. It'll look a little bit like this. Nope, a little bit larger. Just to the south and east of St. Clair, this is a discrete supercell. Could produce a strong tornado if it does drop, heading up towards Highway 30 over the next few minutes. Just south of Eureka. So seek shelter if you're in this tornado warning, away from windows and to get on the lowest floor possible. Hey, Coral, for becoming a member. Hey, interrogation for this chat. Do I enjoy sriracha? Talk about sriracha sauce? I've never actually had it, I don't think. Back over in Kansas right now. We got a pretty big DBZ value here over here, southeast of Abilene. This storm kind of popped up out of nowhere. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds just south of Chapman, southeast of Abilene, going up towards Junction City. Storm has blown up over the last few minutes. We've gotten some more damage reports from our line of thunderstorms near Ava. Mostly trees down from this line, so expect trees to be down if you're back over near Mountain View. Yeah, we got a lot of trees down there. So again, a lot of thunderstorms quickly approaching southeastern Missouri here over the next hour or so. It's going to be mostly a damaging wind threat, which will knock down trees, could knock out power as well, so have flashlights ready to go and all that good stuff. Line of storms will continue to push in the direction of Fredericktown, Poplar Bluff, with the potential for damaging winds and also a threat for a tornado or two with this line as it continues to push to the east. Once again, it is a QLCS tornado threat, which means tornadoes are embedded in a line of thunderstorms, which means we really can't see them on radar unless we're much closer to a radar site. So we're not gonna be able to see any tornadoes on radar, but there could easily be a tornado or two in this line, and they're usually pretty quick. But nonetheless, a tornado is a tornado. Latest scan, we still have strong rotation right now near Fletcher, going up towards Cedar Hill Lakes. So seek shelter if you are in this warning. A little bit more populated than what we've been talking about here for the last little while. Hey, DC for the $10 super chat. How's Foreman, Arkansas looking? Most of Arkansas is wind. and I'm just generally speaking, I can't do every single town location because it would take the entire stream. But generally speaking, we're talking mainly about a wind threat. I think if you're anywhere down in here, the wind threat and tornado threat are way lower. It's slightly more elevated for our tornado threat in this corridor here for the next couple hours. And then further down to the south and west of Little Rock, the threat, generally speaking, should be mainly wind with an isolated spin up tornado. We have a little bit more wind shear in this environment that's further off here to the north and northeast of Arkansas, so that should help to propel our tornado threat just a little bit more. We do still have a tornado warning in Arkansas, by the way, near Clinton. Strongest rotation south of Leslie going towards Fairfield Bay. Mountain View eventually in the path of this. Concord's also going to be in the path this down the road. Could have a tornado at any time. Velocities are on the stronger side of things. Keep in mind, even with a line of thunderstorms, we can still see a strong tornado, and it's not impossible that a tornado is strong with this line as well. That's the only really main. That's really the only area of rotation that we have throughout this entire line right now. By the way, it's just that. Everything else is mostly wind. Latest scan still showing very strong rotation right now near Fletcher, just west of DeSoto. We might be moments away from a new tornado dropping here just southwest of St. Louis. Be moments away. Thank you, Max, for the Venmo donation. Max is 8'9", not 6'9". I'm actually 8'7". 8'7".
A new tornado warning has been issued.
New tornado warning for Washington County in Missouri. That's the storm right behind the one going towards St. Louis. Just to the southwest of Potosi. Going up towards Potosi, and it's literally tracking the same line as our other storm. So if you're in this tornado warning, seek shelter, get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building as this continues to track to the north-northeast. This is the third tornado warning that Hortontown, Belgrade, and Potosi have been under. And it's the third different storm, by the way. They're not the same. They are all different. We may have the beginning of a tornado debris signature here near Fletcher. That might be the beginning of one. Velocities are very tight. Again, this could be a tornado right now coming up near Fletcher. Not for certain, but there may be a tornado near Fletcher. It's going up towards Cedar Hill Lakes over the next several minutes. And eventually, I'm going to be tracking up towards Eureka, just outside of St. Louis. I don't know if I already said this, but thank you, Christian, for becoming a member. Where's my cat? No clue? Not in here. All right, latest scan, the velocities are a bit broader, so maybe a brief tornado. Doesn't look like it's on the ground anymore. If it is, we'll see what the next velocity scan holds, but it definitely looks a little bit weaker on this latest scan. Thank you, Anna, for becoming a minimum velocity member. How many tacos confirmed today? Today's not tossing trampolines on Tacos Tuesday. It's Monday, right? Today's Mesoscale Madness Monday. And then Wednesday is Wacky Weather Wednesday. Then we got tossing trampolines on tall trees Thursday. And then we have flying fences Friday. Scary Storm Saturday, Suspicious Storm Sunday, or maybe Sus Storm Sunday. We should actually call Sundays Sus Storm Sundays. We got a name for every day of the week. We honestly need to make like merch for every single day. Honestly, like I've always had names for every day of the week, but like we've never done anything with it. I just say them. A lot of the time in videos, I also just say it's tossing trampolines on Tacos Tuesday, and then people are caught off guard. They're like, "What did this guy just say? Is this guy okay?"
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
We have a confirmed tornado near Fletcher. This is a radar confirmed tornado. Alrighty. Well, if you're in this warning, seek shelter. Going up towards Grubville. It's also going towards Cedar Hill Lakes, Lonedale, and Lubbering. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I probably know what they're saying this is based off of. It's likely what this was. I think it was a really brief tornado, if I had to guess. Because the latest scan's broader. I'm waiting for another velocity scan here, but I mean, again, take it seriously though. This definitely could be a tornado. If it is on the ground, definitely could be a slightly stronger tornado. Further down to the south, we also have strong rotation coming up on Potosi right now, Missouri. Any pride for the Super Chat Monsoon Monday? Mesoscale Madness Monday makes way more sense. Keep in mind that it is nighttime. Obviously, everybody should know that. But, I mean, it is nighttime. So if you're in this area, definitely don't look outside for this tornado, even though it might be tempting. And assuming we have a tornado on the ground, the velocities are still strong enough for there to be a tornado. If we have one, it's going to be on the east side of Hurricane. Maupin, and then eventually Grubville in the path of this, Cedar Hill Lakes. Then eventually this is going to be going towards Eureka. It's a very slow moving storm. It's moving north at about 25 miles per hour. So assuming that it keeps at that pace, rotation wouldn't be into Eureka for probably another 40 minutes or so. It's a little bit more time until it gets there. Thank you, Karen, for the super chat. Do you see supercells popping up around Sykeston before the line moves in? Not necessarily. I don't think storms are going to really fire up down here. Like, we might have a couple cells, but nothing, in my opinion, that's going to scale into anything concerning. The line of storms is honestly the biggest concern for those over near Poplar Bluff and Sykeston. Actually, our camera's over in Poplar Bluff. We're going to at least get one of them on. That bottom middle. Okay.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Definitely have a tornado on the ground now. I think. Wait, is that a tornado? Yeah, we definitely have a tornado now. There's literally a CC drop. All right, well, that's more clear now than before. This is as of the latest scan. Tornado is definitely in progress now. East of Richwoods, coming up towards Maupin and just west of Fletcher. It's going right up WW Roadway, moving to the north-northeast. So seek shelter if you're in this warning. Definitely have a tornado in progress here. And it's a discrete supercell. It's very small, but it is still going, heading up towards Highway 30. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, I was going to talk about our new tornado warning west of Hot Springs, Arkansas, but they just warned it, so you should be able to see that couplet there.
Alrighty, this is back over near Odin. Little area of rotation has been developing over the last few minutes just off to the west of Little Rock, going towards Sims. Highway 88, 27, 298, all in the path of that. So again, this is our area of rotation. We're right back up to 4 tornado warnings. This one's another one that's embedded in our line of thunderstorms. So make sure that you're seeking shelter if you're in Odin, just north of Mount Ida, near Highway 270. No debris signature as of right now, but we're going to keep an eye on that. Also, north of Little Rock, we still have a tornado warning near Clinton and Fairfield Bay. This one's been on the stronger side of things for quite some time. No tornado debris signature at this point, but still strong enough for there to be a tornado as it approaches Highway 65. Down the road, if this storm continues to rotate, Mountain View, Batesville, South Side are the main locations in the near term as that continues to push to the east. All right, latest scan. We definitely have a tornado right now, just northwest of Fletcher. So tornado debris signature, very clear and evident right now, just northwest of Fletcher in Missouri. Let's see what's actually here. So this tornado would have just hit there's a lot of trees here. This tornado will be coming up towards the den at Dittmer, which is like it looks like a hotel, or not really a hotel, but like a lodge or something like that. There are some mobile homes in the path of this. There's also the DeSoto Rural Fire Department back up here near Grubville. That is in the general path of this. If this does make it to Grubville, Grubville has a lot more homes up there. Nothing super, like, I don't see any businesses. It's just a lot of homes there. So that's generally what's in that area. There's also a BP gas station back up near Highway 30 that's in the path of this, if it stays on the ground. Clearview Sales and Service is also in the path of this, assuming it stays on the ground. Keep in mind that this storm is going in the direction of the western side of the St. Louis suburbs. I'm not saying it will impact St. Louis, but areas back over near Eureka, just stay weather aware here. Tornado threat is a little bit more elevated for your area if this storm can stay discreet, which right now it's getting kind of messy, more messy than we just had a few minutes ago, but it should continue to produce a tornado for the next few minutes. The southern storm's also rotating over Potosi. That one's going in that general same direction towards Eureka in Missouri. So we'll have to keep an eye on that back up west of St. Louis. They're following basically the same path. We'll have another radar scan here in just about 30 seconds or less. Thank you, Kay, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Thank you also, Key, for the $10 super chat. You must be tired. It's been an active month. It has been very active. Latest radar scans showing the tornado is still in progress. It is ripping right now northwest of Fletcher. It's not a huge tornado. It's definitely a small one, but it's producing damage right now near Mopin, near Highway WW. I think there's just a lot of trees here. Like I'm looking at the map to see if there's anything right now that is being hit by this, and it looks like a lot of trees. It may have just gone by a lake, which actually does have a little home on the lake, so hopefully that home's okay. There are a couple homes. It's just very rural there. Yeah, there are like a few different neighborhoods. They're very small. Biggest thing is that there are a lot of trees. Thank you, GM, for becoming a maximum velocity member. How bad of a summer will St. Louis have this year? I mean, I don't know what you mean by that. Like, are you talking about temperatures? Are you talking about temperatures? Or are you talking about like severe weather? Hey, Manly, for the $10 super chat, we can get a threat level update for Chesterfield, Missouri. I would say it's mostly going to be wind. There's a low tornado risk. It's a low tornado risk up there. It should be mostly an isolated wind threat for your area. Potosi storm is still rotating. Again, if you're in Potosi, now is the time to be in your safe place. If you're not already there, rotation is going to be basically over top of you over the next couple minutes here in Missouri near Mineral Point, just to the west of Bone Terror. And then our active tornado right now is coming up towards Grubville, Ormond, and eventually going towards Cedar Hill Lakes, assuming it stays on the ground, which velocities are much weaker now, but there's still a TDS, so there's still a tornado here, at least for the time being, heading up towards Grubville. Thank you also, Mike, for becoming a member. Also, Jeannie for becoming a member. Latest radar scan, the tornado debris signature is a bit smaller, so it likely is occluding right now over a few different neighborhoods here near Ditch Creek in Missouri. That's just southeast of Mopin. It's going up again towards Grubville right now, and Cedar Hill Lakes just southwest of Scottsdale. Back over in St. Louis, we got more storms firing off right now. Nothing severe, but right over St. Louis, a little bit of thunderstorm activity near St. Louis, O'Fallon, Collinsville, just outside of Belleville, and Clayton, and as well as De Perez, I think is what the pronunciation was. Coming up on St. Charles, if this does something similar to the last storm we just had that went through St. Louis, this could actually produce a little bit of isolated hail and wind. The one north of St. Louis is actually beginning to rotate a little bit.
Been issued.
A little bit of rotation on this thing, just to the west of Godfrey. That's going to be tracking up towards Jerseyville, Kane, and Medora, just west of Brighton. We have a new tornado warning. This is a massive tornado warning. Holy crap. New tornado warning. This is going to be for our QLCS tornado spin-ups back over in Verbenham. West of Farmington, south of Sullivan, south of I-44, and southeast of Cuba. So seek shelter if you're in this warning. Get away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible. This includes Reynolds, Iron, Washington, and Crawford counties in Missouri. Believe it or not, even though it's a large warning, it only includes about 9,100 people, but that's for Keysville, Cook Station, Davisville, Shirley, Belgrade, Verbenham, Bixby, as well as Black, Centerville, and Bunker, excuse me. They haven't issued a tornado warning. This is the other National Weather Service office. They have not issued a tornado warning here. They might. I don't think they will, though. It is QLCF spin-ups. They are, again, tornadoes embedded in a line of thunderstorms. We still have multiple areas of rotation that are heading in that direction of Verbenham and eventually towards Ironton. Hey, Freddie, for the super chat, is there anything in Iowa for the next few days? Probably not. We're going to have a little quiet period, I think, over the next few days. Thank you, Meredith, also for becoming a Maximum Velocity member. Let me go back to Arkansas. We've been mostly looking at Missouri. Back over in Arkansas, we still have a strong area of rotation just off to the west of Clinton right now. Seek shelter once again if you're near Highway 65 or Clinton. If this does drop, it would be a likely strong tornado going towards Fairfield Bay and Shirley. That's also just southwest of Mountain View, northwest of Heber Springs. We also have another tornado warning near Odin, which this is still rotating a little bit. I'm not honestly that concerned about this storm. I think it's very weak rotation, to be honest. But if we get a tornado, we'll be going into Odin, Highway 298, just west of Hot Springs. The line of storms has also broken up a little bit in Arkansas. We got one really defined segment, which really basically goes all the way up into Missouri. It's actually a long line. I can't really quite see it on this entire radar site, but you can kind of see a little bit better from the Springfield radar site. Very defined line of thunderstorms, very organized, and then it's kind of broken out here to the west of Little Rock. So generally speaking, our more significant threat will likely be further north, but we will still see damaging winds and at least a low tornado risk with this line in this segment as it pushes towards Little Rock over the next few hours. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning back over near Paris, Texas for half-dollar sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds moving east. And we just got a random storm that's decided to fire up in northwestern North Texas, just outside of Bowie. But not too concerned about that as of right now. All right, looks like if we have a tornado, it's probably occluded now. We still have a small debris signature over a few neighborhoods, but I think that's debris fallout at this point. So the tornado is likely done here just south of Grubville, but continue to stay in your safe place in case any debris goes flying near your location. And also in case it does drop a new tornado, the strongest rotation is actually over Grubville now, going towards Catawissa. There is definitely some rotation also just north of St. Louis near Godfrey. It's pretty broad right now, but we'll keep an eye on it. A little bit of rotation there. Could get tornado warning at some point in the near future. Hey, Parker, for the $20 super chat. How are things looking in central Arkansas? And also, huge congrats on becoming a meteorologist. I appreciate that. Generally speaking, wind. Low tornado risk still. I just looked at Bowie, Texas. It's just isolated hail if that storm goes severe. Mainly a strong storm right now. Still rotating over Potosi. We don't have anything confirmed as of right now, but strong little mezzo here over Potosi, Missouri, heading up in the direction of Somerset, just west of DeSoto. They'll eventually be going towards Highway 21. Also basically tracking up 47. We'll probably get a new tornado warning here soon. Not yet, but probably in about 5 minutes or so. There may be a new tornado warning going up in the direction of DeSoto. It's literally going right behind our storm that just produced a tornado, so we'll likely get a new tornado warning here soon. It looks messy out here, though, I gotta say. Very messy setup. Basically, what we were forecasting today is what's happening. Very messy here across eastern Missouri and western Illinois. Hey, DJ, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Nashville, Tennessee, tornado tomorrow. I think the tornado risk is definitely going to be a bit more elevated, even in Tennessee. It'll definitely be a bit more elevated out there in western, or even western and central Tennessee. I think that's the most elevated area. I will have a video again tomorrow morning talking more about it. Shout out to Chili with the $20 super chat. I have a girlfriend who lives in North Little Rock, and I live in RVA. A bit of an oddball. Why are there all the chasers in Texas? I honestly, I don't really know. I'm not like a chaser, so I don't know what goes into the sighting process. Like, if I was a chaser today, I would have probably been somewhere in, like, I don't know, southeast Oklahoma, but also the chasing terrain is just, meh. So it's kind of one of those things you have to ask a chaser. Like, I'm not a chaser. I don't really know. Like, I'm not like in the chasing mentality. For the record, I would have chased Southwest Kansas yesterday, and we also had like 3 wedges down there. Now that's kind of saying it after the fact, but that was what was the area that I thought would actually, produce yesterday. I don't have like a single town name though that I would have started at or something like that. Thank you, Milicia, for the super chat. Again, we do have a confirmed tornado warning here just to the northwest of DeSoto. That tornado is now occluded, and they'll likely actually, I mean, they'll probably downgrade the warning first, and then they'll probably cancel the warning after that. The main storm now is the one south and west of DeSoto that is starting to really wrap up and rotate. We're starting to see stronger rotation here of a Potosi coming up on Somerset, DeSoto, just to the southwest of Festus. We've already had a tornado on the west side of Festus earlier, and we just had a tornado just west of Festus. I mean, like, over in this tornado warning polygon. And this one may try to produce a tornado as it approaches DeSoto over the next several minutes. Chrome asks about central Illinois. I think wind is the main concern for central Illinois. There's a very low tornado risk. If you're in the tornado watch, that's generally where I think an isolated tornado is possible. But if you're in like Decatur, Taylorville, or Effingham, the threat of a tornado is much lower. It should be mainly wind. Huge shout out to Ryan with the $50 super chat. I really appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, so we have another tornado added to the DAT. This was from the 18th, so yesterday. This was west or east of Greenwood, Mississippi. This is actually the largest tornado I've seen confirmed over the last couple of days, even though it was only an EF1 tornado with a maximum wind speed of 105 miles an hour. Its peak width was 1,100 yards. I think the second largest was this tornado over here in Nebraska, which was confirmed at 1,000 yards. Of course, we are yet to see our tornado that went through or around Greensburg, Kansas yesterday be added to the DAT. I think some of these surveys are just going to take a really long time because of how many or how much information they have to compile. But so far, that is the widest tornado out of this last stretch of severe weather.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. That's actually crazy because if we, I'm trying to find the tweet. I made a tweet about this. Like, it was like that tornado happened, by the way, like 4 or 5 in the morning. I was literally up at 3 in the morning Central Time, by the way. It was 4 a.m. my time. There was literally a tornado warning for Greenwood and Winona and North Carrollton. It's actually crazy. This did produce a tornado. It was a very random tornado warning. There, again, this was May 18th in the early morning, so it was May 18th when this happened. But yeah, that's actually kind of crazy. By the way, 1,100 yards for those that are wondering. I got to do a conversion for that, but let me do a conversion real quick. That is approximately 0.265 miles wide of an EF1, by the way. So almost one. It's basically a little over half mile wide that we had for an EF1 tornado, which is pretty crazy. Hey, Leland, for the $5 super chat. We go to sleep in Weldon Spring, Missouri. You are, I mean, you can go to bed, just have ways to receive alerts. Basically, if you're west of, I'm going to draw a line again. If you're west of this line, you can sleep. But if you are east of this line, you need to stay. I mean, you don't have to, you can go to sleep too, but just make sure you have ways to receive alerts. If you're in a tornado warning, obviously seek shelter. Back over in Arkansas, let's go to the Clinton storm first. We still have rotation right now off to the north of Clinton, coming up on Fairfield Bay, also tracking towards Mountain View and Concord. Batesville is eventually in the track of this. So seek shelter if you're in this tornado warning. I don't think this tornado warning near Odin's going to continue. Very contaminated in my opinion here, but if we have a tornado near, if we have a tornado in this warning, which again, I don't think we do, but if we have one, it'd be near Odin coming up on Sims. It'd be this area right here. Tracking near 270, near 27 and 88, just north of Mount Ida. We also have a new severe thunderstorm warning outside of Hot Springs. It's a large one, 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-sized hail coming up towards Hot Springs, Mount Ida, and Norman over the next several minutes. So stay away from windows if you are in this tornado warning. Had a fry, I think, go down the wrong way. But yeah, it's generally what we're looking at there. Also, A large outflow boundary is really kind of kicking out in front of this line here northwest of Little Rock. As long as this is outflow dominant down here to the south, I think the tornado risk will be low. So generally in this corridor, we're not really looking at much of a tornado risk. It's mostly wind. Further to the north of Conway, that is where we're talking about more of an elevated threat for damaging winds and as well as a potential for a tornado or two. So that'll be the main concern there. Still have a confirmed tornado warning here. Again, it can be downgraded. There's nothing there anymore. The more concerning storm is the one now coming up towards Somerset. They will likely issue a new warning at any moment here for those near DeSoto. Still a large, but still broad area of rotation right now near DeSoto, heading up towards Highway 21. So if you're in this warning, or this general area, definitely get ready to go to your safe place, mainly for DeSoto in Missouri. All right, Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max. So, one concerning trend that I'm seeing here is the convection that we were supposed to see in Oklahoma is not really occurring. So, we do have a couple of cells that are popping up here around the border, but it's not that basically second wave of severe wind that we were talking about earlier. And this is leading to a concerning trend on the HER because this is basically getting rid of our morning convection in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Mississippi tomorrow. What this is going to do is it's going to lead to a more robust warm sector that could be more favorable for tornadoes. So hopefully we start to see some of these storms in Oklahoma convect more than the HER is showing. But as of now, we can go back even a couple of runs on the HER, and we can see that there was a lot more convection in and around our warm sector for tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. And once again, tomorrow's risk of severe weather is already elevated. It's an enhanced risk of severe weather for Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama. You're all included in this. A slight risk also includes all the way up to Illinois and Indiana, just outside of Indianapolis. Again, the hatch tornado risk right now that we have in place for tomorrow